Hey everybody, we're back for Thursday Night Poker. Brandon and Ken, we're off on our days. No poker is really taking the effect on us. We're not quite sure what days these are airing. So I think last week we talked all about April 2nd. I actually think this is the week that April 2nd is going to be coming out.
Right.
But
so hopefully we're back playing poker today.
Hopefully we're back playing poker. This is part 2 of the Mini CSOP Event number 7, Stack Tournament, 108 runners. We're now down to the top 4 players. Joe on the button, scratching his head. He's got Ace-Jack. Hopefully life has returned to normal. If it didn't return to normal last time you heard us, hopefully it's definitely back to normal now.
Yeah. If it's not back to normal now,
we'll see what happens.
Right.
Who knows?
We have no idea what we could be speaking to in 2 weeks. That's crazy. So 1 point, or 400,000 off a 1.2 million chip stack. Jeff with King Queen suited in the small one does have a real decision. I don't like that Bob was like basically showing he was about to fold. He's got his cards in the air, like, you know, like holding them out in front of him. Like, you should, because I mean, a lot of Jeff's decision there is based on Bob behind, so it's a little unfair for Joe, but Bob folded anyways. No.
Jeff is also electing to do the single row of chips.
Yes.
He's not falling into the pseudo, everyone else has got multiple stacks on top. May still got a big, massive mound of chips. Joe now with Jack 6 suited. Going to get out of it. Under the gun. Four-handed, though, that's not really a thing anymore. Nine deuce, suited. Thinking about it. I will say about Jeff, though, that I've noticed in the last week and this week, that he takes the same amount of time to kind of decide what to do. So I like that about players. I think it's something that tournament players should actively work towards. Is it should be a shorter amount of time. It should only be a few seconds, but we should all try to. I mean, you had talked about that, like 5 to 6 to 7 seconds every time. That way you're not taking extra long time on your good hands and folding very quickly on your bad hands. Yep. You got to make it a little bit more consistent, right? So that way you're not
count to 3 and then fold.
Easily.
Or count to 3 and then raise.
Do you Mississippi? Are you a Mississippi counter?
Usually.
I only noticed because I've been counting 20 Mississippis when I wash my hands, and it's like, good Lord, that's a long time. I never washed my hands for 20 seconds before all of this happened. Hopefully, with the whole COVID-19 or whatever the case may be, is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah, we're on to COVID-19.
Nobody's really saying Corona anymore. No. Good thing, because Corona sales are way down, and that's not fair to Corona.
No.
But anyways, I was talking to somebody, I don't remember where I was, but it's weird because like you're in that really weird stage right now where like you're not shaking hands, and like I'm a big handshake kind of guy. Like, oh, I see somebody, oh, hey, how are you? You know, because I do run into people that play in the events a lot. When we're out, and I'm not bragging, sick brag Ken, but I'm just saying in general, like I see, oh hey, yeah, I know you from poker. It's nice to kind of see poker players out in the wild, so to speak, and I always shake hands and we talk, oh, how are things, blah blah blah. But now it's like you're doing this weird, like you're not even fist bumping anymore.
I don't even do the elbow. I just
people are elbowing.
I give them away.
And then it's like people are actively trying to talk, and you're like 6 feet away. It's very noticeable that like. Yeah. You know, I just ran into a guy that I haven't seen in probably a couple years, and he's still a regular poker player, and we're friends on Facebook, and he's got kids my age, so like we have that in common, and it's very weird right now. Did you see that video of not Prince William? What's Prince William's dad's name? Prince Charles?
Probably.
The Queen's son. He's next in line, right? For the
I think so.
Okay. Anyways, he is like getting out at like something. Now this is like before anybody's been on serious lockdown. It's just like social distancing. Except he's trying to go shake hands with people. They're all like, whoa, like holding their hands up. Then he's like, ah, ha, ha, ha. And then he goes to the very next guy and he goes right back into the handshake. And they're like, oh no. It's such a weird.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like if you're gonna shake anybody's hand, royalty probably should still be something that you're still willing to.
Yeah, like risk it.
I'm willing to risk it. He wants to give me a handshake.
Same thing with when Trump had one of his speeches when he was with the CEOs of like Target and Walmart and those and Walgreens and like the big companies that he was giving them all handshakes, and he took like he took some beef for that on the internet. And I was like, man, if the president's going to shake your hand,
It's one of those
I'm
things,
shaking
and
the hand.
I know Trump gets a lot of. There's a big divide, right? Obvious.
Polarizing.
It's very obvious on if you're for or against, and really the against are very loud, and the fors are moderately quiet, unless you want to instigate
Unless
fights.
you're going to fight against the
Right,
yeah.
which happens, and it's a little sad. I think people should be able to do that. I'm a big believer in, my grandfather would tell you things, and it's stuff your grandparents would say in general. It's like you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion at the dinner table. And I think if people did that, life might be moderately better, easier, less arguments. Because people don't really want to argue and hear the other guy's side.
No, they just want to argue.
They just want to
pound
argue
their own points.
Correct.
Like,
and I'm like, if you want to
I'm
have a
not
discussion,
here. Right.
let's have a discussion.
Right.
But people don't want discussions. They want to argue and say, I'm right, you're wrong, shut up.
Right.
GTFO.
Yep.
Which is great. Get the F out.
Okay. Just trying to bait you.
I'm not going to say,
5
we're
minutes in.
5 minutes in, I got to be better. All right, a lot of hot garbage out there, although Maeve did flop top and bottom. No, bottom two pair. Queen 6. She's got to bet this one out because she got check 2. Looks like 200K. I don't think she's going to see any callers.
action. See how it looks like he's going to fold?
Bob
Watch how
does.
fast he does.
Yeah. So don't telegraph your folds because it can induce action. Or players, if you notice a guy who's consistently doing that, use it to your advantage, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if Jeff tries to
It
make
always just sucks for the guy in between.
right, if Jeff tries to make a move there, knowing full well that Bob is going to fold 100% to May's raise or bet, really, it's a bet at that point.
Yeah.
He can use that to his advantage because sometimes you have to. It's hard to,
Make moves when
make
there's a guy
moves. There's a
behind.
guy behind you, right? Especially a guy with a decent amount of chips,
Right.
or in the shove range. Because really, Bob's got a little under $500,000 there. So I mean, he's at this point that's a shovable stack. Like he's not calling many 200K bets if he's not putting it all in.
Right.
And if he does, you should be very suspect
Sure.
that final 300K is getting in there very quickly.
Right. So Bob's going to limp the 10-3 of hearts into May's big blind.
I give Bob credit. Now, I don't know if those graphics are wrong or if we're missing some chips, but it says he's got 730K in chips.
I think it was because of the 200K mishap with the fours, and
Might have been, yeah, might have been.
he's 200,000 or more is over into Jeff's stack, his stack,
Right.
from the stack when Castro was all in. And,
Right.
so Jeff actually has 2.7, and Bob's got 500.
So Jeff is now our chip leader,
Yeah.
which is great. I love tournaments where you come to the
switches.
final table and you really, really make different. It's a different game. It's a different game. Jeff's gone a little card dead here for 5 or 6 hands.
Right. For an orbit. And this is all in here from Bob, Ace, Jack.
Easy peasy.
peasy.
420 is really probably what he's got. 430 versus that 730. But he's going to pick up the blinds, which right now,
It's 200,000.
yeah, I mean, it's 50.
50, 150.
Wow,
200,000.
200K in the pot. So when you got a $500,000, a 200K is
Uptick is massive.
big. All right, here's our chip counts again. Bob's still, he's got less than 10 big blinds. He's probably more like 7 big blinds. Joe is at, it's kind of weird that he's at over $1 million in chips, 1.3 million in chips, and he still only has 10 or 12 big blinds. They still don't take into account the big blind ante because you really have to put in 2 big blinds when it's your big blind, but yet they still say I have 10 big blinds. Do you think that
No.
that changes the numbers of when you should start to panic?
Nope.
2 in a row for Bob here. He's got another ace. Oh, boy.
boy.
Joe's got 2 aces, folks. Not that you cannot see that. I like the little pause there because he's got Jeff in the hand who's, he's trying to maximize the amount of chips he's going to get. So you don't want to snap all in here or snap call. But he calls and Joe gets out of the way. Sorry, Jeff gets out of the way. Joe and Bob.
I'm getting Joe and Jeff mixed up,
Yeah,
too.
it's hard. Well, looks like Bob's played his last hand here.
He folded.
Maybe.
Could very easily be down.
93% of the time he's played his last hand.
It's about 2, 4, 6. Yeah, a little over 600,000. So the pot's not quite as big as it seems, but it's still a really big pot. Gonna need some help here on the turn. 5's not gonna do it. Aces are gonna be good. What's the one out that he has?
he doesn't.
Oh, the flop. Yeah,
turn's
the
not-
the graphics aren't showing it yet. And 5 ball on the turn, Kenny. Bing, bang, boom. Aces are good. Doesn't matter. You can draw a card and pick whatever you like and run it as many times as you want. That ace nine's not getting any better.
Nope.
I like the way Bob played, though.
Yeah.
I think he played well.
I like this overhead graphic.
Yeah, it's good. It's very clean because of the fact that the lighting is so good. There's like a light right above it.
But the lighting actually looks better up top than it does here because you can kind of the chips look a little glary from that light right above it, but it looks good from the
It's
top.
great for the overhead cam.
Yeah.
So right now in the world, I know we're talking about this is mid-March that we're doing the recording here because we're not quite sure if we're going to be able to keep recording. So we want to get some content out in advance. So it does throw us off a little bit for what we're talking about for current affairs because this could be airing a month later or 3 weeks later. But regardless, as of mid-March, all of the casinos in Vegas close. Are any casinos open right now, or every casino in the entire United States is currently closed?
I don't know. Let's look on Bravo.
Okay.
See if there's maybe an
Any
Indian
games?
casino. See if there's
Potawatomi is still rocking and rolling?
Potawatomi's closed. They closed
They
Monday.
did close.
Yep.
Okay. As of, like,
Monday.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Because they were one of the last ones to kind of give up, right?
Yeah.
Ace deuce for Joe, suited. On the button. First to act.
Motor City Casino Hotel.
Got one game going.
One game.
Social distancing.
Detroit.
3 players. That's got to be an Indian casino, or?
Grand River Avenue, Detroit, Michigan.
I've never been to Detroit.
Looks fun. Sweet.
I only know one person from Detroit. 2 people from Detroit. And I've only talked to one of them in person.
Here we go. Pearl River Resort,
Mississippi. That's an Indian reservation.
Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Yep, I've been there. That place is awesome.
One game.
One game going.
Resorts World Catskill.
I think that's in... Where's that at?
I don't know, Resorts World. Doesn't say.
But they're running a game as of March 18th. Last game in town.
Orange City. Oh, here we go. Daytona Beach.
Florida.
9 games.
Dog track.
9 games. Oxford Downs. Probably another
Dog track.
3 games. Orange City Poker.
That might be in Florida as
Orange
well.
City, Florida.
So
7
Florida's
games.
still going. Florida is the last...
But now Seminole Hard Rock closed. Buffalo Thunder closed. Route 6. Seminole Hard Rock. A lot of Florida's closed. There's just 3 open. Because Miami's closed.
Well, Miami's like on lockdown, aren't they?
I don't know. They closed their beaches. Desert Diamond Casino, West Valley.
Arizona.
Glendale, Arizona. 3 games.
This is all on March 18th. So this is like right at
So
the peak
Florida,
of everything being
Arizona, there's
closed.
1 game in Detroit. Golden West Casino. They got to be crazy. Bakersfield, California. Couldn't pay me to go there right now. And then,
So there's actually a lot more than I'm
this is Europe now.
okay.
Glasgow,
Glasgow.
Scotland, Manchester's got 1 game. Empire's the one Ryan worked at 1 game.
That's in London.
Leicester Square, yeah.
Wow.
So no, there's really not much.
No, considering
There's 1 casino in California open. There's 1 casino in Arizona open. 3 casinos in Florida, and 1 in Detroit, and 1 in Mississippi. And those
so
are
half a dozen.
And those are on Indian reservations. They're either dog tracks or Indian reservations. None of the big name actual.
Because Vegas, they were boarding up Bellagio.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
I know.
It's kind of weird to see.
It's super weird.
Anyways, hopefully at this point when this is getting aired, which we're trying to figure out the timing.
Hopefully we're out of the tunnel. Right now we're heading in the
It
tunnel.
could be the end of the tunnel. We could be extending the tunnel. We don't even know. Live poker in general for 2020 could be massively down in general.
Yep. Oh, well, Queen 10-3 here.
Ooh. Oh, man, it would have been so cool if Jeff had Queen 3. It would have been a massive, massive pot.
I mean, all the guys.
May's
that
checking her top 2. I like it.
Yep.
Turns 5.
Great turn for May.
Yeah.
All the people that bet 20-1 that the WSP would get canceled. I'm liking their side at 20-1.
Could be postponed. as of March 17th, they delayed the May PGA Championship. Got delayed. Then they delayed a bunch of, or they canceled all SEC sports, everything, like even spring football.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, May goes all in here when the 5 comes. I think she's given him an out to fold.
Why is she just shoving?
She got him thinking though. It's going to be hard.
Did he
to
bet 200?
Yeah,
240?
he bet 240. She went all in.
And there's number 5 that I can count for the hand sanitizer.
She's running low, folks. Is hand sanitizing a tell?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's in the air.
Jeff's trying to figure out if he can put her on. What can he put her on?
This does look a little spewy flush draw.
It was a check. I mean, it was a limp check flop. So, limp from the button, small blind folds, big blind calls, or checks. Check on the flop. So they both checked their queen on the flop. So I don't know if he can put her on a queen. I mean, you'd imagine she would have bet, and now she's pushing her chip stacks
I
out.
like it.
I think that might have actually done her a disservice. Right? I think she'd have been better off just leaving him back. I think it shows a slightly stronger hand when you're putting in the actual chips.
And he folds. Great fold. I mean, he had her drawing dead. If she knew that, she wouldn't have shoved. She would have bet smaller. But Jeff dodges a bullet here, gets away from it, and May is now chip leader.
Back to chip leader. She started the final table as a chip leader. 3-handed, she's back to the chip leader.
And she's really only played 5 hands.
If that.
She shoved queen. She shoved kings. She played the king 10. Yeah, she played 4 hands maybe.
It's good. Strong 4 hands.
Who is this? Is it playing right now?
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty. Whatever channel they got back there is. This is my channel.
You like
that
it?
channel. I like that channel.
It's like 90s, like
Summer
soft
Hits of the
rock.
90s
Yeah.
or something like that.
I don't want to say, because it's not alternative, because it's like
Yeah.
kind of easy listening 90s music. So you get a lot of Third Eye Blind, you get some easy Red Hot Chili Peppers, you got some Tom Petty in there. It's good. I like all of those bands.
good.
It's good. It's good.
Some DMB, which you don't like. Or you
I've never been a huge Dave Matthews Band fan. I don't know why. I'm just not.
I think it's one of those things. You
Wow,
go through phases.
just so everybody knows, day number 1 of No Poker Vlog, very massively watched. Day number 2 of No Poker Vlog, not nearly as
No.
watched. Yeah, so I'm already losing my audience after 2 days.
Well, as they get more bored, it might
There's
come
like
back
a,
up.
I got
a curve.
So like right now, everybody's trying to flatten the curve
Right.
of Corona or COVID. I am trying to
Steepen your curve.
my curve of videos watched. We have gotten some more followers. We're getting more followers on Instagram. We're getting more followers on YouTube, which is great. Our Twitter took a little hit, being that we did those last couple events in the middle of March there before everything really hit the fan, which was kind of in line with what the state was doing in general. Check this out. This is a picture of the Strip. It looks kind of apocalyptic, right?
Oh no, it is. Yeah, I thought
Like you see one person and 2 cars,
Yep.
and it's the Strip. Like it's literally like cosmopolitan New York.
yeah.
Like it's like one of the overpasses, like the where people pedestrian overpass.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
it is. It's wild.
Wow.
And to think, this is literally supposed to be that today when this is airing, which you're showing the picture, it's supposed to be like the most flown in day of the year. It's Wednesday before the tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's Wednesday. What day is today?
March 18th.
March 8th. Yeah, we were supposed to fly in the 21st. I mean, it's like supposed to be millions of people there.
Watching the tournament. It's got to be one of the busiest weeks
It's
in
like the busiest
Vegas.
week of the year.
Yeah.
In Vegas. It's so crazy how fast things went. A week ago from me airing this, I was like, oh, I'm still probably going to go.
Right.
And now it's just like, not only are you not going, it's closed.
Right.
All right, Joe's mucking on the button. Jeff ace deuce here. I like the little limping strategy, especially with May. May's playing a little tight. Maybe you can raise.
Looks like it's a
Call. 120,000.
call. May's got king 10. She's going to check. See a flop. Continuing with her tight, super aggressive, aggro aggressive. Flops a king. Jeff flops a deuce. I was going to say bottom pair, but really when you have a deuce, bottom pair is always what you get.
So she loves to check back and then pound it when they pound the turn.
So Jeff checks again.
Ooh, it's a good check. Well, it's not really. I don't know if it's a good check. It's a nice check from Jeff, because a lot of people would bet that turn.
Looks like 140?
Yep.
Or
140. Oh, she's... Yeah.
I think she just said bet.
Wow, look at Jeff. Getting away from a pair, a gutter ball, and an ace.
And an overcard. It's good. Chip stacks are still looking pretty good. Small blind, big blind button. Went to showdown. May, 0. She has not had to show down a hand. Which means she's winning all the hands before the river comes out, or she gets out of the way before she's got a hand. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's one of the most important things of poker is winning pots without showdown.
Right. And she is winning pots without showdown.
I mean,
so.
you never get a value bet on the river if you don't show your cards, though.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes you got to think of those lost hands as not as a bonus, but like the silver lining is, all right, great, I just proved that I'm going to bet with some very weak to, ineffective hands where you're going to get paid off then on the big ones. It's hard. It's the whole idea of you got to give some action to get action, because if you're just a tight, nitty player at a tournament, you raise, everybody folds, and the problem is when you do get called, they're going to have top four hands.
Huge
right.
hands.
Which is great if you've got aces, kings, or queens as well. But if you've got queens and a guy's calling you're all in and then you haven't been called once, it makes it a lot tougher for him to not have aces or kings there.
Correct. So the easiest way to play against a super tight guy is just always fold. Just always fold. Even if you think they're bluffing, even if you think they're getting out of line, if nobody ever gives them any action, they can't win.
Right.
Because they don't pick up aces, kings, queens, and ace king enough times
To make it
survive.
profitable. Right. Especially in a tournament. Right. Cash game, I mean, you can kind of wait as much as you want and be fine. But
I'm just like, even if the guy's getting out of line with me with Jack 10 suited, or he's going to make one of his fancy little plays, you can just have it. You can take my $2, or I'll raise the 8, and you make it 30. And even if I got something that I'm like, ooh, I want to gut you, because that's what I used to think. I'm like, well, I know this guy's probably got a really big hand, and if I have 9-8 suited, and I flop a pair,
and
or an open-ender,
right.
and a flush draw, or something,
right.
I can just gut him. Now it's just like, you know what? Take my $8. Good luck.
Right.
Good
I'll
luck
wait
winning.
till a better spot.
Yeah, good luck winning this entire...
Speaking of which, May just limped in with kings here. Ooh, flops 2 ace, 2 hearts. Are you more happy when you have kings and 2 aces come out versus the alternative?
One
just
ace?
1 ace?
Of course.
Right. I guess that was a silly question.
Twice as happy.
Twice as happy. So Joe bets out his 8-5 because he's got the 5, and May smooth calls him. Turn comes out. A hook. Puts hearts out there. They both check their hands. Good Lord, guys. Come on. Wait until the other guy looks and get a look off of them before everybody looks at their hands. Am I right or am I right?
You're right.
Yeah. So it looked like a check, and then she set a bet, and then he insta-fold before anybody
she
could do
set
it.
all in.
Yeah. So May is using her all-ins very, very strong.
So the problem is she's only going to get ever called if the guy's got an ace.
Yeah, which, I mean, we talked about, right? I mean, or he's got pocket 5s there.
Yep.
Which,
Boats or aces.
right.
Man, they're still driving the trucks around, huh?
Yeah, I mean, trucking is like one of the industries that are not. I read somewhere that they upped, in middle of March, they upped the legal weight limit so that those guys could carry more stuff, food and whatnot.
Sweet.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Everybody gives the Teamsters a bad name, but good Lord, when we need our stocks reshelved, they're the only ones driving around out there.
I know I saw Amazon is hiring like 100,000 new workers this week.
Amazon's hiring, again, middle of March. Amazon's hiring. Jewel put out
grocery
press
stores.
note. Grocery stores are putting stuff out. Target, Walmart, anything that's going to be open during the crisis is going to be hiring, which is
kind of nice for like the waitresses of the world to, or somewhere where it's like, well, I can't go.
right.
Anybody that's working in the restaurant industry, besides like the cooks and
Bartenders.
yeah,
and,
they can go and make it through with a part-time job at Amazon if they need it.
Yeah. 8s for Jeff here. He raised to 320. May's got an 8 for suited. She was thinking about it, but she folded. Offspring now.
I was never a big Offspring guy.
Yeah, I like a few of their songs. Blinds are now 61-20, which means Jeff with 1.8 million has really got 14 big blinds. So Jeff was our chip leader, but now he's down to bottom stack.
It'd be really cool if USA was just like, all right, we'll just legalize all of poker and just push it through. So online, I mean. I thought it was pretty cool that WSOP just spun together.
That was awesome.
A super series or whatever for the internet.
Online. Granted, it's only valid in whatever states that...
3 or 4 states, but still.
Right.
The fact that they just like whipped that up, I was like, all right, guys, we're canceling the circuit, but come play this. It's got 19 rings. And
Right, which is awesome.
yeah.
Folding the Jack 8. Joe's out of there as well. Jeff, the short stack, if you can call him that, is picking up the blinds. Which is now, what, 240? Quarter of a million? I mean, 240, but close.
That's a quarter million.
Yeah.
If I ever have 240,000 in cash, I'm gonna say I got
Quarter
a quarter
million.
million.
It is a lot more work for the dealer, though, a three-handed tournament play.
It is.
Because it's a lot of hands. What do you think the hands are per hour in a tournament three-handed?
Oh, 3-handed?
Yeah. Like this right now. Short-handed play in a tournament.
50.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot, right?
It's almost, I mean, you could, I don't know if you can pump out a hand a minute for the whole entire hour, but I mean,
Close.
yeah.
Jeff's going to see a flop here. Nope. He's going to raise. May's got a hand. Acey-deucey. Fletch hand.
This is a very Fletch hand. It's offsuit. This is just Fletch is just
It's
Mouse water.
140 to call. She's got the chips to call. I would like to see a flop with ace-deuce. She likes to see a flop. Four, 6. Jeff's going to have to bet here to get her off of that ace. She likes the power of the ace here. Min bets it. 120.
She put on 140. I don't know why. She must be saying
All right.
that or something.
Jeff's trying to decide here if she's just making a move on him.
Nothing really does make too much sense, but it's just one of those things where it's like, you need to raise.
Right.
Jeff would have to raise.
May scooping in a pot around that big chip stack.
We have yet to get rid of the black button. I just realized that.
Yeah. A little tougher to see out there in TV land. Notice Brian's dealing with the claw.
Yeah, he's a claw dealer.
I'm not a fan of the claw.
Some of the best dealers in CCG history have used a claw, though. Ben, Keyline, Serbnan.
Oh, wow.
It's two good dealers.
Both guys have won some
Yeah.
pretty big tournaments. Dan just recently won a ring at the circuit event here in, when was that? April? Nope.
February?
February.
We're in March. The days, the months are all just...
Everything's going, guys.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, guys. I was supposed to do commentary yesterday, and I just forgot that it was Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yep. One of those things.
All right, Ace Jack. She's gonna limp. She has a really unorthodox style. I haven't really picked up on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's working.
It is.
No doubt about that. It's working. And she's consistent.
Yeah.
It's not like she's only raising good hands or trying to make a few bluffs through. I mean, she
limped king. She limped Ace
Yep.
Jack. She limped Ace Deuce. She limped 8-4.
It's almost like watching like a PLO game because it's the idea of like not as much happens pre-flop. So I mean, now she could get Joe's hand stuck in the cookie jar here because he's got a queen, and you got to put somebody on a non-ace here. He doesn't have a super strong queen, but 2 clubs for Jeff though. So I mean, this is kind of what she wants. She's going to get a call from Joe. She should get a call from Jeff. At least one. He calls. Mo's biggest pet peeve is when people call with the small chips. When they've got brown chips, the 25K chips, they want them to do less. Speaking of chips, today is March 18th. I just got an email that the new chips are going to be shipped on Friday.
Sweet. That is great news. So, like, here's one of the risks that... Ooh, and she checks the turn up and down. The risk that she runs by limping Ace Jack is she could have just taken down the blinds and antes here because they would have folded Queen 7 and 8-3. But instead, she is now, as long as she doesn't fold, is going to win a 1.3 million chip pot, getting chips off of both of them because she got a board like this, and she's going to snap call.
Yep. I like it.
I don't really know if Jeff was...
She didn't even make a motion towards her chips or towards her cards until Jeff had already acted, which is great. I think that's it's huge.
So my question here, guys, is Joe bluffing or is he value betting? Because
I think he thinks he's value betting.
He's value betting?
I think so, because he thinks his queen's good.
Okay.
He wasn't super crazy about his kicker, but I don't think he can put her on an ace.
And here we go with the chip stacking. I love it.
Oh, yeah, she's going super high right now. She's a big blind, so she's not putting chips in. Joe's going to fold the 10-4. Jeff folds. We don't even need to see May's cards. Best hand got out of the way first. Bryant's just taking her cards. She didn't even fold yet. She didn't look at them. She didn't fold. Nothing.
She just went. She wins.
I just win. I'm winning chips. I'm not even looking at my cards. Primaries yesterday had a pretty low turnout, huh?
Yeah.
Now, Ohio canceled their primary?
Because they're in bad shape right now.
So how does that work? Like, how long can they delay it? Right? Like,
I don't
this
think
is
going to matter.
It's not Bernie. It's going to be Joe.
Yeah.
Joe versus Trump.
Yeah.
You ever see a movie called Joe versus the Volcano? Jeff.
I've never seen Forrest Gump.
Oh,
Do you think
my
I've
God.
ever seen the movie Joe versus the Volcano?
Did you know that it's Tom Hanks in both movies? Tom Hanks is the lead in Joe versus Volcano.
No,
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like the skinny Tom Hanks, like back when he was doing like Bachelor and Money Pit, like
Sure.
really early.
Yeah.
He was doing like goofy movies. He wasn't really
Like Big.
No, not Big. I think was one of his like
Bigger.
funny. One of his like more like not serious role because he plays a little kid, so it's super funny. But like that was like his kind of breach into like less super goofy movies. Like that was like a little bit more of like he had to play some parts where he was like very serious at the end because he's trying to decide: do I want to go back to being a kid? Do I want to stay in this adult life where he's been moderately successful? We have a Jeff all in with 8-9. Oh, Lord. And Joe calls with the ace-5. He outflops him and then gets turned an ace. Jeff is eliminated.
Is this just all in a call pre?
Yeah. While we were discussing the finer points of Tom Hanks' career early on. He's safe, though. He, as of today, him and his wife left the hospital March 18th. They left the hospital and they're in quarantine in Australia.
Yeah, nice.
I think we should just put all our resources into saving Tom Hanks because I do not want to live
He's
in a world.
saved.
I do not want to live in a world without Tom Hanks. I'm out. Tom Hanks should run for president. He'd win. You don't think? Prove me wrong. I'm like that guy in Central Park with the sign that says Tom Hanks should run for president. Prove me wrong. You don't like those memes?
No.
Is it like the same picture? Is that guy really sitting outside in Central Park trying to get people to argue with him?
I think it's the same picture.
Okay.
They just switched the side. But I've thought the same thing.
All right,
before.
so I don't know. Did you see my tweet about Dana Negreanu's choices of? Imagine you will be quarantined for the next 3 months.
Except
Which
for
of
I
these
didn't
things?
see any of the choices. None of the choices came up on my Twitter. Yeah, none of that happened.
Yeah, so it was books, Netflix, video game console, or online poker, and literally only
How could it be
13%
video
of
games?
people.
How could it not be video games?
It's not. It's Netflix. Netflix is almost 40%, clear favorite, followed by a close tied for second, 26% for video games and 23% for online poker, and books a very, very low fourth place.
To be fair,
13%.
To be fair,
What's fair?
I've played a lot of video games, I've watched a lot of Netflix, and I've played a lot of online poker, and I have not picked up a book.
I'm disappointed.
It's 2 days in.
All right. How many days in until books become more
Books are
important?
going to start because I'm already.
Well, I called my mom yesterday. I was like, "What'd you do all day?" She's like, "It was kind of great. I literally read my books, read a book, hung out. Like, she did, not shipped. She did like the Target run where they like
The
you just
pickup?
go and pick up. Yeah, which is kind of a nice thing to do right now.
It is.
We do have to support in kind of. You can't just shut in your house. We got to get people to like continue these delivery companies and stuff. I mean, right now
You have to buy stuff still.
Right.
Or else everything just gets
everything's
shut down.
bad.
Well, look at this. Hospital ship headed to New York. That's pretty cool.
Like a ship.
Like a ship.
Nice. We're not going to build any.
One of the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Holy heck! Looks like a aircraft carrier. Oh wow!
I know.
Look at that thing. 1,000-bed naval hospital ship is being dispatched to New York as of today.
18 minutes ago.
That's nuts.
That should help things.
Ugh.
There.
Mayor de Blasio calls for military intervention.
It's about to get crazy.
New York's website to file unemployment claims is still swamped.
Yeah. All right, we're heads up. 2 beautiful chip stacks and hand sanitizer number 7. The
Yep.
under's still looking good. For those of you that watched the first episode, the line was 17.
Way under.
Yeah.
They are literally 51.49, 3.3 million to 3.2 million.
This is one of those.
Now they are playing for a seat.
Oh, they're
You're
playing for a seat.
you're indicating sign language for chop, but they are playing for a seat. So they were playing for a 360 main event, which is why they're playing it out. Because actually, this streamed live on Facebook, and people were like, "Why are they still playing? They should just be chopping it." And the idea is that they're playing for that seat. So we're gonna see what May and Joe have in the tank left.
Joe is still not using Browns. May has been using Browns the entire time.
Yeah, she's a player.
Yeah.
I think if you're playing at a final table and you notice a guy with a chip stack like that, or girl, I should be less. If you notice a person playing and they've got a massive stack like that and they're smart enough to use the Browns, like that guy's been there before,
Right.
or that lady's been there before.
Sure.
You should be a little more wary and up your game. Noticing the little things, it's all the little things.
Right.
Which is funny because Bush is playing in the warehouse, and that's one of my favorite Bush songs. All the little things.
Oh, I was thinking Blink 182.
No,
All
they
the
didn't.
small things.
That's similar, but not
Right.
the same.
Okay.
Right. You know the name of this song? Come on. The people are waiting for you to make an answer.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Obviously, May limps with her ace-jack suited to 8-6. Oh, Boise. This is where you get dangerous. This is where you got to be able to fold your ace-jacks.
No, this is a pretty bad flop for ace-jack. So hopefully, and he doesn't give her,
slow down.
No. She might call once here.
She's going to call once.
Maybe hit a 10. Maybe hit a club.
Right.
Maybe
She needs
hit an ace or a
She needs to
jack.
turn a draw here. If it's a brick on the turn, which is a 3, that could not be any more of a wet napkin. He bets again. She's just going to give it up.
I don't understand why the napkin has to be wet.
I don't know. It's just what Paul said when he yelled out "wet napkin."
Wet napkin. All right. Now,
You know that video is one of our most watched videos on YouTube. That Omaha game that was at St. Andrews like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. I think I'll resend it out. It's pretty good. So he bets. She
He
folds.
uses his brown chips on the when he has.
Notice the small
hands.
things. Yeah. I mean, we can pick that up much easier, but
Because we're sitting here in a
maybe
room.
that's an indication of a strong, right?
Maybe he's just going to use his brown chips every time he's betting.
Well, hopefully he heard us, and now he's using only using those. I think one of the most difficult things to do live is when your head's up like this and the cards are coming at you so quickly, and
Stacked
it's like you're
chips
just doing so.
Well, this
you're
is
doing
where
so
like
much
this is where like only using brown
makes it easier.
Right. Also, if we had 100K chips, we'd have them in play right now.
Right.
Which they're being shipped on Friday.
Right. So when the
So in the future, these chip stacks will be done. They'll
Much
only have
smaller.
they'll only have 100 chips in front of them total instead.
Right.
Of, she's got 400. And he's got 1, 2. He's got 500.
it is cool though with 100K chips, you don't get these.
No,
Like,
dude.
look at May's chip stack. She wins. She should win this tournament outright just for the fact that she is significantly better at stacking chips than anybody else.
Have you guys? If you haven't, go back and look at.
Hand sanitizer number 8.
All right, we're getting there.
Getting
Late
there.
push on the
Late
over.
push on the over.
If you guys haven't seen, go on YouTube and look at Jamie Gold playing heads up against Paul Lostica, maybe.
When he won,
His chip stack is the coolest thing ever.
because it's like out into the table.
It
and-
is. It's taking up. Like if you're over here, guys, looking at Joe, it would be like taking up that whole side of the table. Paul Lostica? I just made that name up.
All right, Joe's chipping up here. He's up to 4.3 to May's 2.1, which only leaves May with 13 big blinds, considering she's got 40% of the chips in play. But the blinds are massive right now. I think it's 8160, right? 6120, 8160.
Yep.
Yep, 80,000 to call for May. Might not even see your cards. Unfortunately, now Joe has all of the browns in play,
So
so she has to use. But she still used her last brown chips. Look at this. She's still using her last brown chips. Kudos, May. Somebody did complain online during the live stream of this that oh yeah, it's massive chip stack. That's awesome.
I mean, you can't
I
really.
did some.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, there's just like so many chips.
And he's still the largest winner, right?
Yeah.
All right, May, Joe flops a gut shot. May flops an 8. Drills that gut shot on the turn. May's drawing dead. She gonna bet into him? She's looking around. Looked like she checked.
She did. Joe's gonna fire a 300,000 bet on the turn, and she's gonna get away from it.
Yeah.
Joe, 4.6, chipping up. Whoa, those things are like gold.
All right. It's surprising to me that guns and ammo did not sell out before Purell. But now everything's pretty much out at this point.
Yeah.
Bob's now got 70% of the chips in play. May's down to 11 big blinds. Queen 8 for her. I think they're discussing a chop now.
If I was Joe, I would say, hey, give me first place, I'll give you the seat. Call it in.
Nice.
Otherwise, let's play it out, I'll take it all.
Give me all of it.
All right, we got a limp by May and a check by Joe. 9-3.
9-3s. Yeah, not going to get too many. So it looks as though, like every charity poker event that gets down to the end here, they are quickly running out of time, which I think now they're discussing a massive chop. I think he's looking back at production going, yeah, is that where are we at? And I think there's only a handful of time left. So we are quickly getting down into that forced chip chop area unless the players can come up with a chop on their own. Check, check. May's just concentrating on stacking those chips. She doesn't care about anything else right now. I think she'd be happy just to take the chips home.
For sure. just the actual chips.
Just the actual chips. All right, we show a 9-3, and the Queen 8 come out, and the Queen High is good. And I think at this point they are going to decide to call it a day. Yeah, they're out of time. They are very close in chips. They're really just playing it out for that 360 seat right now, and I think at this point they're going, yeah, I'm pretty sure the casinos are going to be closed anyways, so we're not really playing for much of anything, so let's just go ahead and chop it up. So I think they're going to shake hands here in a second and call it a night.
Sweet. So I'm assuming...
Joe's got a lot of...
maybe they'll just chop it evenly and Joe gets to see
hand sanitizer, number 10. She did it right before the handshake and then a little wiggle air at the end. Congratulations to Joe and May. It was a well-fought battle and a very decent chop. They didn't even... equity chop. They just straight, we're just going to chop it up. Which I think is really cool because when you play with somebody for a long time and they are sitting right next to each other, it's kind of nice because like Joe could have tried to push a little bit more like, I want to do the chip equity chop. But I mean, really, when your head's up and the blinds are this big.
I'm sure she just gave him the seat and called it good.
Right.
And so, then, even though he's got her 2-1, just one hand.
Theoretically could be the last mini CSOP event of 2020. I don't really know if we can postpone it and do it again. We'll have to see what happens, folks. Well, hopefully you're staying safe. Hopefully the Armageddon Rapture hasn't happened yet.
Hopefully the event's running.
Hopefully we're playing poker as we listen to this right now. But thank you for watching either way. Make sure you subscribe to our channels. We appreciate it very much. Brandon, anything for us to say? Some parting words of wisdom?
May played tight. She played all night.
She did, and she got a chop out of it. All right, everybody, that's it for us this time. We'll see you next Thursday for Thursday Night Poker.